Hey everyone! Welcome back to our channel. Today we have a very special episode because we're going to talk about something that almost every English learner struggles with at some point. You might understand a lot of English when you read, listen to podcasts, or watch movies, but when it comes to speaking, somehow the words just don't come out. Right, Sophia?
Exactly, Alex. This is one of the most common problems we hear from our viewers. You can understand everything, but when it's your turn to speak, it feels like your brain suddenly freezes. Today, we're going to share 8 powerful tips that will help you unlock your English voice and start speaking more confidently.
Yes, and these tips are practical, easy to apply, and don't require you to suddenly become fluent overnight. It's about building small habits and learning how to practice in a smart way.
So let's start with the first tip. Tip number 1 is: speak from day one.
Exactly. Many learners think they need to know enough English before they start speaking. But in reality, the best way to improve speaking is to start speaking as early as possible, even if you only know a few words. Don't wait until your vocabulary is perfect. Start small.
For example, you can start by introducing yourself, saying simple sentences about your day, or even reading a short dialogue out loud. The key is to get used to forming sentences in English without overthinking every word.
Tip number 2 is practice speaking out loud every day. Even if it's just for 5 minutes. You can read a short story, repeat phrases from a podcast, or describe your surroundings. The important part is that your mouth and brain start working together in English.
Yes, and you'll notice that over time, your pronunciation improves and your sentences start coming out more naturally. Don't worry about making mistakes, that's part of the learning process.
Tip number 3 is think in English. Many learners translate from their native language in their head, and this slows them down. Try to form ideas directly in English. Start with simple things, like I'm hungry or the weather is nice, and gradually make more complex sentences.
You can even practice thinking in English while doing daily tasks. For example, when you're cooking, describe what you're doing in English: I'm chopping the onions. Now I'm adding the spices. This trains your brain to form sentences automatically.
Tip number 4 is use shadowing. Shadowing is when you listen to a sentence in English and immediately repeat it, trying to copy the rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation. It's a powerful technique to improve speaking fluency.
Yes. You can use short dialogues from podcasts, YouTube videos, or apps. Listen to one sentence, pause, and repeat it aloud. Don't worry if you can't imitate it perfectly at first. The key is consistency.
Tip number 5 is record yourself. Many learners are afraid to hear their own voice, but recording is incredibly useful. You can notice your mistakes, your pronunciation, and even your sentence structure.
Exactly. You don't have to show it to anyone at first. Just listen to yourself and compare with native speakers. It helps you identify areas for improvement and track your progress over time.
Tip number 6 is use phrases instead of single words. It's easier to remember short sentences or common phrases than individual vocabulary words. For example, instead of learning eat, apple, today, try I'm eating an apple today. This gives context and helps your brain produce sentences faster.
And once you know a few key phrases, you can mix and match them in different situations. This makes your speaking much smoother and less stressful because you're not thinking about each word separately.
Tip number 7 is find a speaking partner or a community. It can be a friend, an online tutor, or a language exchange partner. Speaking with someone else gives you real conversation practice and teaches you how to respond naturally.
Yes, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone learns by trying, and a supportive partner will help you improve, correct mistakes gently, and keep the conversation flowing.
And finally, tip number 8 is focus on communication, not perfection. Many learners stop themselves because they're afraid of saying something wrong. But the main goal is to be understood, not to speak perfectly. Native speakers often appreciate the effort more than flawless grammar.
Exactly. Don't get stuck on small mistakes. Speak, express your ideas, and gradually improve. Confidence grows when you realize that people understand you even if you make small errors.
So those are the 8 powerful tips to help you start speaking English more confidently. But we're not done yet. In the next part, we'll give you practical exercises, examples, and mini dialogues that you can use right away to unlock your English voice and practice in real life.
Yes. We'll show you how to apply each tip in everyday situations, how to train your speaking muscles, and how to overcome that nervous feeling that stops you from speaking.
So, if you're ready to take your English speaking to the next level, stay tuned for part 2. Welcome back. In this second part, we're going to show you exactly how to apply those 8 tips we talked about, with real-life exercises and examples that you can use right now to unlock your English voice. Sophia, where should we start?
Let's start with tip 1, speaking from day 1. Many learners understand this in theory but don't know how to begin. So here's a practical way: start with short daily sentences. For example, when you wake up, try saying out loud, "Good morning. I'm going to make breakfast. I'm feeling excited today."
Exactly. You can do this while doing daily routines, making coffee, brushing your teeth, or getting dressed. It may feel silly at first, but it trains your brain and mouth to form sentences automatically. And don't worry about grammar mistakes at this stage, just focus on speaking.
And to make it even more interactive, try asking yourself questions. For example, what am I going to do today? Or how do I feel this morning? And then answer in English. This simulates real conversation, even if you're alone.
Now, tip 2, practice speaking out loud every day. The key here is consistency. Even 5 minutes a day is better than 1 hour once a week. A great exercise is to describe what you see around you. For example, I see a cup on the table. The cup is red. There is a notebook next to it. I am sitting in my chair.
Yes. And once you feel comfortable, expand your sentences. You can describe actions, your plans, or even your feelings. For instance, today, I am going to watch a movie. I feel excited because it's a comedy, and I want to relax after a long day.
Tip 3 was thinking in English. Let's turn that into an exercise. Try narrating your day in English in your mind as you do things. For example, when you're walking to the store, I am walking to the store. The weather is sunny. I hope they have fresh apples today. This builds a habit of thinking in English without translating.
And to make it even more effective, try talking out loud while thinking. You'll notice that your brain starts automatically forming sentences in English without needing to pause and translate every word.
Tip 4, shadowing. Here's a practical exercise. Choose a short audio clip, a sentence or a short dialogue. Play it once, then pause and repeat exactly what you hear, trying to copy pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. For example, if the audio says, "Hi, how are you today?" You repeat, "Hi, how are you today?" Try to match the tone and speed.
Start with slow sentences, and gradually move to longer, more complex phrases. This trains your ear, your pronunciation, and your speaking fluency simultaneously. It's like exercising both your listening and speaking muscles at the same time.
Tip 5 was recording yourself. Let's turn it into a practical task. Take 1 minute each day and record yourself speaking about your day, your weekend, or a topic you enjoy. Then listen to it carefully. Compare it with a native speaker's pronunciation or a podcast sentence. You'll notice small mistakes you didn't realize, and over time, you'll improve.
And don't stop at noticing mistakes, try to repeat the sentences correctly. For example, if you mispronounced a word, pause, repeat it slowly, and say it 3 times correctly. This way, your brain and mouth learn the correct way to form the sound.
Tip 6, learning phrases instead of single words. Here's a practical way to do it. Pick 5 to 10 common phrases every week. For example, "I don't understand, can you repeat that, please?" "What do you mean?" Or "I'm not sure about that." Use these phrases in sentences, like, "I don't understand this sentence. Can you explain it?" Or "I'm not sure about the answer. Can you help me?"
Yes. And once you have a list of phrases, try to mix and match them. For example, I don't understand this word. Can you repeat it slowly? Or I'm not sure about your question. Can you give an example? This builds a toolkit of ready-to-use phrases for real conversations.
Tip 7. Find a speaking partner or community. Here's how you can do it. Look for online language exchange partners, join a conversation club, or practice with friends who are also learning. Start with short, simple conversations. For example, "Hi, how are you?" "I'm fine, thanks." "How about you?" Then add more details. "What did you do this weekend?"
And here's an important part: actively listen and respond. Don't just wait to speak. If your partner says something you don't understand, you can use your phrases from tip 6. "I'm sorry, can you say that again?" Or "What does underscore 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 mean?" This makes your practice realistic and interactive.
Tip 8. Focus on communication, not perfection. Here's an exercise. Pick a topic, like my favorite hobby, and try to speak for 1 minute without worrying about mistakes. For example, my favorite hobby is reading. I like reading novels because they are interesting. I read every night before I sleep. Sometimes I share books with my friends.
Notice that you're expressing ideas, not focusing on perfect grammar. After 1 minute, listen to yourself, and then try again, improving one small part. Maybe your pronunciation, maybe connecting sentences better, but don't aim for perfection from the start.
Now let's combine all these tips into a mini practice session you can do at home. First, pick a short audio dialogue, 2 to 3 sentences. Shadow it. Then record yourself repeating it. Next, try to describe a similar situation in your own words, using phrases from your phrase list. Finally, if possible, share it with a friend or a partner for feedback.
Yes. And don't worry if it feels awkward at first. Every speaker goes through this. The key is consistent practice. Even 10 minutes a day of structured practice can make a huge difference in a few weeks.
Let's do a quick example together. Imagine a short conversation at a cafe. Sophia, you start.
"Hi Alex, can I join you?"
"Sure, please sit down. How was your weekend?"
"It was nice. I went hiking with my friends, and it was really fun. How about you?"
"I stayed at home mostly, but I watched a few movies and relaxed. I needed that after a busy week."
That sounds nice. What movies did you watch?
"I watched a comedy and a documentary. The comedy made me laugh a lot, and the documentary was very interesting."
See? That's a natural conversation. Short sentences, small details, follow-up questions, and it keeps flowing. This is exactly what you can practice at home.
So, to summarize, start speaking now, practice daily, think in English, use shadowing, record yourself, learn phrases, find a partner, and focus on communication. Apply these exercises every day, and slowly your English voice will start coming out naturally.
Yes. Remember, it's a journey. Don't give up if it feels slow at first. Every small step counts. Soon, you'll notice you can speak without overthinking, respond naturally, and even enjoy conversations in English.
Thanks for watching. Practice these tips, try the exercises, and leave a comment below about your progress.
We'd love to hear from you. Share your experience, or tell us which tip you found the most useful.
See you in the next episode, where we'll explore more tips to help you speak English confidently.
Bye everyone. Keep speaking and keep practicing.